Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Arvan tells a story. The Netherlands, informally Holland, is a country located in the northwestern Europe with overseas territories in the Caribbean. It is the largest of four constituent countries of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The Netherlands consists of 12 provinces. It borders Germany to the east, Belgium to the south, with a North Sea coastline to the north and west. It shares maritime border with the United Kingdom, Germany and Belgium in the North Sea. The country's official language is Dutch, with West Frisian as a secondary official language in the province of Friesland. Dutch Low Saxon and Limburgisch are recognized regional languages, while Dutch Sign Language, Sinto-Romani and Yiddish are recognized non-territorial languages. Dutch, English, and Papiamento are officially in the Caribbean territories. The four largest cities in the Netherlands are Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, and Utrecht. Amsterdam is the country's most populous city and the nominal capital. The Hague holds the seat of the States General, Cabinet, and Supreme Court. The port of Rotterdam is the busiest seaport in Europe. Schiphol is the busiest airport in the Netherlands and the third busiest in Europe. The Netherlands is a founding member of the European Union, Eurozone, G10, NATO, OECD, and WTO, as well as part of the Schengen area and a trilateral Benelux Union. It hosts several intergovernmental organizations and international courts, many of which are centers in The Hague. Netherlands literally means lower countries, in reference to its low elevation and flat topography, with only about 50% of its land exceeding 1 meter above sea level and nearly 26% falling below sea level. Most of the areas below sea level, known as polders, are the result of land reclamation that began in the 14th century. In the Republican period, which began in 1588, the Netherlands enters a unique era of political, economic, and cultural greatness, ranks among the most powerful and influential in Europe and the world. This period is known as the Dutch Colonies. During this time, its trading companies, the Dutch East India Company and the Dutch West India Company, established colonies and trading posts all over the world. Wow. With a population of 17.7 million people, all living within a total area of roughly 41,800 kilometers squares, of which the land area 33,500 square kilometers. The Netherlands is the 16th most densely populated country in the world and the second most densely populated country in the European Union, with the density of 529 people per square kilometers. Nevertheless, it is the world's second largest exporter of food and agricultural products by value, owing to its fertile soil, mild climate, intensive agriculture, and inventiveness. The Netherlands has been a parliamentary constitutional monarchy with a unitary structure since 1848. The country has a tradition of pillarization and a long record of social tolerance, having legalized abortions, prostitution, and human euthanasia, along with maintaining a liberal drug policy. The Netherlands abolished the death penalty in civil law in 1870, though it was not completely removed until a new constitution was approved in 1983. The Netherlands allowed women's suffrage in 1919 and was the first country to legalize some same-sex marriage in 2001. It makes a market advanced economy had the 11th highest per capita income globally. The Netherlands ranks among the highest in international indices of press freedom, economic freedom, human development and quality of life, as well as happiness. We move to history. The prehistory of the area that is now the Netherlands was largely shaped by the sea and the rivers that constantly shifted the low-lying geography. The oldest human Neanderthal traces believed to be about 250,000 years were found in higher soils near Maastricht. At the end of the Ice Age, the nomadic late Upper Paleolithic Amberg culture hunted reindeers in the area using spears. The later Ahrensburg culture used bow and arrow from Mesolithic Maglemosian-like tribes. Words oldest canoe was found in Drenthe. After Roman government in the area collapsed, the Franks expanded their territories in numerous kingdoms. By the 1490s, Clovis I had conquered and united all vast territories in the southern Netherlands in one Frankish kingdom, and from there continued his conquest into Gaul. During this expansion, Franks migrating to the south. This modern territory of France and Walloon parts of Belgium eventually adopted the vulgar Latin of the local population. A widening cultural divide grew with the Franks remaining in their original homeland in the north, the southern Netherlands and Flanders, who keep on speaking Old Frankish, which by the 9th century had evolved into Old Low Franconian or Old Dutch. Dutch-French language boundary hence came into existence. The Holy Roman Empire, the successor state of East Francia and then Lothringia, ruled much of the Low Countries in the 10th and 11th century but was not able to maintain political unity. Powerful local nobles turned their cities, counties, and duchies into private kingdoms that lacked legal sense of obligation to the emperor. Holland, Hainaut, Flanders, Gals, Brabant, and Utrecht were in a state of almost continual war or paradoxically formed personal unions. The language and culture of most of the people who lived in the country of Holland were originally Frisian. As Frankish settlement progressed from Flanders and Brabant, the area quickly became Old Low Franconian or Old Dutch. The rest of Frisia in the north, now Friesland and Groningen, continued to maintain its independence and had its own institution collectively called the Frisian Freedom, which resented the impulsion of the feudal system. Most of the imperial and France within what is now the Netherlands and Belgium were united in a personal union by Philip the Good, Duke of Burgundy in 1433. The House of Valois Burgundy and their Habsburg heirs would rule the Low Countries in the period from 1384 and 1581. Before the Burgundian Union, the Dutch identified themselves by the town they lived in or the local duchy or county. The Burgundian period is when the nationhood began. The new rulers defended Dutch trading interests, which they developed rapidly. The fleets of the country of Holland defeated the fleets of the Hanseatic lands. Several times Amsterdam grew and in the 15th century became the primary trading port in Europe. For grain from the Baltic region, Amsterdam distributed grain to the major cities of Belgium, northern France, and England. This trade was vital because Holland could no longer produce enough grain to feed itself. Land drainage had caused the peat of the former wetlands to reduce the level that was too low for drains to be maintained. Yeah, after declaring their independence, the provinces of Holland, Zeeland, Groningen, Groningen, Friesland, Utrecht, Overijssel, and Gelderland from a confederation. All that duchies, lordships, and counties were autonomous and had their own government. The state provincial, the state general, the confederal government were seated in the heart and consisted of representatives from each of the 7 provinces. The sparsely populated region of Drenthe was part of the republic too, although it was not considered one of the provinces. Moreover, the republic had come to occupy during the 80 Years' War a number of so-called generality lands in Flanders, Brabant, and Limburg. The population was mainly Roman Catholic, and thus areas did not have a governmental structure of their own, and were used as a buffer zone between the Republic and the Spanish-controlled Southern Netherlands. With the armed supports of revolutionary France, Dutch republicans proclaimed the Batavian Republic, models after the French Republic, and rendering the Netherlands a unitary state on 19 January 1795. The stadtholder William V of Orange had fled to England, but from 1806 to 1810, the Kingdom of Holland was set up by Napoleon Bonaparte as a puppet kingdom governed by his brother Louis Bonaparte to control the Netherlands more effectively. However, King Louis Bonaparte tried to serve Dutch interests instead of his brothers, and he was forced to abdicate on 1st of July 1810, and the emperor sent in army, and the Netherlands became part of the French Empire until the autumn of 1813, when Napoleon was defeated in the Battle of Leipzig. The Netherlands was able to remain neutral during World War I, in part because the import of goods through the Netherlands provided essential to German survival until the blockade by the British Royal Navy in 1916. That changed in World War II when Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands on 10th of May 1940. The Rotterdam Blitz forced the main element of the Dutch army to surrender. 4 days later, during the occupation, over 100,000 Dutch Jews were rounded up and transported to the Nazi extermination camps. Only a few of them survived. Dutch workers were conscripted for forced labor in Germany. Civilians who resisted were killed in reprisal for attacks on German soldiers, and the countryside was plundered for food. Although there were thousands of Dutch who risked their lives by hiding Jews from the Germans, over 20,000 Dutch fascists joined the Waffen SS, fighting on the Eastern Front. Political collaborators were members of the fascist NSB, the only legal political party in the occupied Netherlands. On 8 December 1941, the Dutch government in exile in London declared war on Japan, but could not prevent the Japanese occupation of the Dutch East Indies or Indonesia. In 1944 until 1945, the 1st Canadian Army, which included Canadian, British, and Polish troops, was responsible for liberating much of the Netherlands. Soon after VA Day, the Dutch fought a colonial war against the new Republic of Indonesia. Economy. The Netherlands has a developed economy and has been playing a special role in the European economy for many centuries. Since the 16th century, shipping, fishing, agriculture, trade, and banking have been leading sectors of the Dutch economy. The Netherlands has a high level of economic freedom. The Netherlands is one of the top countries in the global enabling trade reports. Wow. And was ranked the 5th most competitive economy in the world by the Swiss International Institute for Management Development in 2017. In addition, guys, the country was ranked the 6th most innovative nation in the world. In the 2021 Global Innovation Index down from 2nd in 2018. As of 2020, the key trading partners of the Netherlands were Germany, Belgium, the United Kingdom, the United States, France, Italy, China, and Russia. The Netherlands is one of the world's 10 leading exporting countries. Foodstuff forms the largest industrial sector. Other major industries include chemicals, metallurgy, machinery, electrical goods, trade, service, and tourism. Examples of international Dutch companies operating in the Netherlands include Randstad, Unilever, Heineken, KLM, financial services like ING, ABN, AMRO, Rabobank, chemicals, DSM and AXO, petroleum refining, that's Royal Dutch Shell, electronic machinery, Philips ASML, and satellite navigation, TomTom. The Netherlands has the 7th largest economy in the world and ranks 11 in GDP nominal per capita. Between 1997 and 2000, annual economic growth or GDP averaged nearly 4%, well above the European average. Growth slowed considerably from 2001 to 2005 with the global economic slowdown, but accelerated to 4.1% in the third quarter of 2007. In March 2013, inflation was at 2.8% per year. In April 2013, unemployment was at 8.2% of the labor force. In February 2019, this was reduced to 3.4%. In quarter 3 and quarter 4 2011, the Dutch economy contracted by 0.4% and 0.7% respectively. Because of European debt crisis, while in quarter 4 the Eurozone economy shrunk by 0.3%, the Netherlands also has a relatively low Gini coefficient of 0.3. On the index of economic freedom, the Netherlands is the 4th most free market capitalism economy out of 180 survived countries. Amsterdam, guys, is the financial and business capital of the Netherlands. The Amsterdam Stock Exchange, part of Euronext, is the world's oldest stock exchange and is one of Europe's largest bourses. It is situated near Dam Square in the city's center. As a founding member of the Euro, the Netherlands replaced, for accounting purposes, its former currency, the gulden or guilder, on 1st of January 1999, along with 15 other adopters of the euro. Actual euro coins banknotes followed on 1st of January 2002, when euros was equivalent to 2.2 Dutch guilders. In the Caribbean Netherlands, the United States dollar is used instead of the euro. The Dutch location gives it prime access to markets in the UK and Germany, with the port of Rotterdam being the largest port in Europe. Other important parts of the economy are international trade. Dutch colonialism started with cooperative private enterprises, such as the Dutch East India Company, banking, and transport. The Netherlands successfully addressed the issue of public finance and stagnating job growth long before its European partners. Amsterdam is the fifth busiest tourist destination in Europe, with more than 4.2 million international visitors. Since the enlargement of the EU, large number of migrant workers have arrived in the Netherlands from Central and Eastern Europe. The Netherlands continues to be one of the leading European nations for attracting foreign direct investment, and is one of the 5 largest investors in the United States. Wow. The economy experiences a slowdown in 2005, but in 2006 recovered to the fastest pace in 6 years on the back of increased export and strong investment. The pace of job growth reached a 10-year high in 2007. The Netherlands is the fourth most competitive economy in the world, according to the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Reports. Okay guys, that's it about the Netherlands. Hopefully you enjoyed and add your knowledge. Thank you for watching. Bye.